And let me change the view. Yes, here I am. Sorry, I was a little bit late. I got to get some lights on here, Wendy. I'm glad you're joining me. Hi, Judy. So let me change this view like that. And if we need a bigger tabletop with the album, I'm just going to kind of nix myself out of the picture. Now, this is a class that I taught in the fall. And hi, Kathy, do you have your album? So this is a class that I taught in the fall. And it's an album. So it starts with chipboard, and we start by covering it in our black cardstock. And and so when I did the class, I told the girls, do not bring any design paper because that's such a personal touch thing. And for me to teach the design portion of that in an album class, because this was an all-day Saturday class, if you are interested in making an album like this, I also sell the tutorial as well as a 4-part YouTube walking you through each page step by step in how to put this together. But it's just going to be way easier to do this via video. And if there is an interest, I will start a Zoom class where we can actually all see each other, and it's not just the conversation back and forth. And then you can all meet each other. Now, whether you've taken this class or not, whoops, sorry, whether you've taken this class or not, you would still be welcome to join that Zoom meeting for covering our album. So if you are interested, again, whether you've taken the class or not, let me know. Just drop me a personal message, or or even here. And if I have enough interest and I don't have to out of my pocket pay for the whole monthly Zoom fee, because I just can't afford it, I will definitely set up some Zoom classes again, and then you're all meeting each other. Like, how fun is that? And Kathy, yes, you are right in that. So when is baby due? I'm so excited for you. First grandchild. I've been a grandma for 24 years, if you can believe that. Now, if you remember, if you come to my classes, I wanted you to mark top and bottom. That's what these scribble marks are for. Everything gets covered. Everything is done in pencil. Okay. June 12th. Oh, that's a long time to wait to decorate your book, my friend. Because it's pencil, it does erase on the black very nicely. What I normally do when I mark my pages is I make sure that I'm not too close to the bottom. See how I've got all this room here? But anyway, let's get this covered. It's not hard. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes the most stressful part is actually deciding what it is that you actually want to cover it with. Okay, I'm going to move this back just a little bit. My pretty box here in the corner is driving me crazy because I don't want, there we go, that's better. I don't want that showing. Okay, so I have 2 books that I've already done, and I need to do 11 of these. So I have, or we have 2 granddaughters. So these 2 are going to be for the girls. Okay. And they're not totally identical, but they're kind of in the same color palette. Okay. And I don't want you stressing about what it is that you choose, because the design paper pulls it all together. And as you can see, like if you're familiar with Stampin' Up! Paper, there are several different families in here, but they all kind of go together. Okay, so this is going to be for Katie and for Ava, or not Ava, for Madeline. Um, And so now I'm going to start working on some of my boy books. And Kathy, that's exciting that they find out at the end of January. So then, are you saying that you're going to start decorating then at the end of January? So come to my February BYOP, bring your album, and away we go. I'm going to cover and I think I'm going to use maybe a fair bit of the Country Woods. Now, as you can see with my last book that I just showed you, I used retired design paper, and that is totally fine. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of figure out, let's just pull this out here. I want to figure out how I want to cover my spine, as well as, and look at this piece of scrap that I had. It's the perfect size. So that's going to be my spine. That is for sure my spine. And I wouldn't mind, depending on what I have, I wouldn't mind the same kind of design paper for the cover too. Definitely want the same design paper. Okay. So sometimes this is and when I say hard part, it's not hard. It's just, you got to just go for it. There's also those blues, which I love. I don't know if I have any of this left. And because this particular one is not retired, I can still order some. This is always a possibility, although I like it when the whole thing is the same. So I want this. I want that again. And if I can't find it, I am just going to order another pack of this and take it from there. So then that means we won't be working on the cover tonight, which is fine. We can move to the inside. Look what I found. One sheet, and I will actually need one more, although the back can be entirely different, but again, I like it to kind of flow in the same. I could do that, but I don't know if I'm going to like that. I'm going to order another package of this, definitely, because I need, let's put that right there. Now, this is how I like to cover my books, and I make it very simple. What about them? I know, I saw that one too, Kathy. And so we can kind of imagine, now these two are going different ways, but that doesn't bother me. So if that was like that, let's do this. Let's open the book. The beautiful thing about this book is, I don't know if you can tell at your end how this is called a flat book. Okay, so it kind of flattens out. So let's just open it this way in the flattened out portion. This tore a little bit here. I don't know why it did, but my design paper is going to cover that. Okay, so Kathy, thank you for suggesting that. And this is kind of what, if we did a Zoom class, what it would be like, because then we're there. Hi, Debbie, welcome here. I hope you have your album. We're just covering it. And I'm so thankful for your good report today. Thank you. That is wonderful. So if we did this on the front, I think you know where I'm going. Be my spine, and I don't have enough of this left to cover that side. So Kathy said, what about if you did that? And so this is kind of in there. And so I could always do that. But look at how this, I'm going to show you on the tabletop view because you'll see it better. See how this kind of flows all the way across? So there's my front, my spine, and my back. I think, although I don't mind that, but I think I still want that continuous. So I'm going to order another pack of this, and then I'll have that to do the back side. But in the meantime, we can cover our front and our spine, okay? Now, there's two different ways. You're just watching, you're thinking about coming to the project. Oh, yes. Yeah, come to BYOP, which stands for Bring Your Own Project. And then I'm here to help. If everybody is busy doing their own thing, then I find something for me to do. But if not, I am all about being there for you girls, because that's what it's all about. I want to find my pencil. Very important. So, two different ways to cover that. You can grab a ruler, your ruler of choice. So, whoops, I just hit my phone. I like this ruler because I've got my eighths and 3/8 and all of that jazz. I can lay that down here and figure out how big I want this. So I would go to 7 7/8, or if I cheat, this is how I cheat. I flip it over. I lay this down where I know I want it. And this is just how I cheat so that I am not doing any measuring. I'm just doing pencil marks. Okay? So this is how I like to do it. So I lay this down, and I've got about a 1/16 of an inch on this side between my spine and my cover. I'm going to go about a 1/16 of an inch here. Okay, so now that is measuring this distance here. Okay, and then if I pull this up and I go about a 1/16 of an inch down there, it shows me right here where I need to cut. So rather than measuring, I cheat, and that's how I cut. I like to use a guillotine cutter. I know, and that side would definitely work for a boy's book. So a lot of this will probably end up being on the inside, Judy, because that would look nice. So there's my pencil mark, which is 7 7/8. And because this is a square album at 8 by 8, we know we're going to go 7 7/8 by 7 7/8, which is pretty much where I'm at. And there's my pencil line. I don't need to worry about it because it's on the back. Okay. I've got a Stampin' Up! Guillotine cutter as well, but this is the one that I always have close by here. My other one is at my cutting station. And this definitely would be a really cool album. So maybe maybe with our boys, because I'm not going to do them all the same. I'm going to go out of my mind if I did. Maybe I will do that side for one of the other albums. Before I put this down, I always like to do what I call a dry fit. So I just kind of take a peek and see if I like where I cut, and I do. And I know this is also going to be 7 7/8. That's my spine. Okay. I should have just kept this out for a second. So let's find 7 7/8. This one is not marked quite as clearly. is my Stampin' Up! One. I like to keep all of my scraps because it's amazing what that does. So here's another little clue, girls. When you come to class, do I have something kicking around here? I usually do. Let's see how I'm doing here for dry fit. Pretty good. I like to have a box, any kind of box. And all of my leftover scraps, I just put them in a box. You can use like an empty Kleenex box. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, that's for sure. Okay, this one needed to be cut down just a smidge more, like about a 1/16 of an inch. Just a smidge. That's probably all I need. I just cut that off. Okay. Are you girls going to hang in there with me and watch me do this for 1 hour? I hope so. I hope it's fun. I hope you enjoy this process. I like to use liquid glue when I'm putting down my design paper. I use tear and tape a lot when I make my album. And I know I'm probably not in camera right now. Not really. And then I like to just cover it. Let's grab that. It's a perfect square. And then let's just lay that down like so. And I always have on hand, here's my favorite bone folders when I'm making albums. These are silicone bone folders. And because I use liquid glue, I like to have antiseptic. What is that called? Hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. Because it takes the sticky of the glue off. Like right now. I want good coverage with my glue. I don't want my design paper going anywhere. I'm just kind of spreading the liquid glue around a bit. I don't want gobs of it under here, but I do like a generous-ish amount. Okay, let's grab our silicone mat. I should get one of my silicone mats from the kitchen because it's nice and big. And we're going to do the same thing. And then we're just going to move on to the inside. And I'm going to place an order for more of this design paper. And I'm not worried about my whole album being covered by the same design paper. Okay, so we just kind of eyeball straight. Like so. Again, if anybody is interested in this class, see how I've got glue oozing out here? I had too much too close to the edge. We're going to grab our take your pick tool and let's pick some of this glue up. You don't want any glue oozing out. You do want to clean it up, otherwise you end up with a real sloppy book. See all that extra glue? Did not need that. I was a little thick. Okay, sticky fingers. So when you come to BYOP, if you have, you use a sponge. Really? Like just like a Stampin' sponge? I often use dry baby wipes, but I just didn't happen to have one close by. But a sponge, that's interesting. And then if it is sticky, once I know, once I know it's dry, I'll go back and I'll clean it up with my eraser. And the other half is in the RV. And this is actually one of my really, I'm going to have to give that a go. Like I've got glue right here. I am definitely going to give that a shot. So hang on, Judy. I will show you. So just this, like I've got a little handle on it, but that's one of our Stampin' sponges. That's what you would use to just pick it up. I've never heard of that. That is wonderful. Thank you. Okay, you are in waiting. So see, there's the B for the back of my book. Okay, so now there's the front, and I'll decorate the front with something else, like how I've got that little tree and little fence, right? I'll decorate. Oh, just dab, don't swipe. Gotcha. Thank you. That is a great tip. Oh, so you're just dabbing to pick up that extra glue. Perfect. Okay. Now I do have scraps, and here's where scraps, you just don't throw anything away, right? But let's see what else we can find in here. So now this is going to be, so this is page 1, okay? These are the pocket pages. These are what go inside each page. Like there's a pocket, okay? So that's what these are. We're going to just put those aside. We're going to worry about that later. Page 2 back, there's a photo mat. Okay. So here is what I call my spread, okay? So here's page 1 front, and here is my cover, okay? So now what I want to do is I want to make sure that whatever it is that I choose for this side of my book, here's where you really run out of room. I'm going to put my little box with all my scraps over there. And there we go. So here's where, when I open up my book, I want my front inside cover and my page 1 to kind of flow, okay? It doesn't have to be all exactly the same, but you just want it to flow. For instance, if I did something like that and that, the blues, see how that would flow, okay? But let's just keep looking here and see what we've got. So I've got a piece already of this. And that looks kind of cool. That would be neat. That would be neat. I usually do this when I'm all by myself, right? So this is a little different for me. Let's see here. What else do we have? Because I don't like to make a decision like real quick. And this is a boy's book, so I'm glad for this design paper. because it is definitely very masculine. So I've got this on that side, and then on this side I've got that. Okay, what do I want here? I kind of like this. And you don't see how this, all of a sudden, this looks really weird. Okay. And, all right. So that's what I've got in this pack. Let's start with, yeah, the thought process. Okay, so I don't want, I think I'm really liking this. I really am. So but I want a pocket here. So I am going to, and because my other side is so dark, my pencil, well, I know that it's going to be 7 7/8 inch wide. So let's just do that because we do know that right off the hop. 7 7/8. So Judy, have you ever created a photo album? This is going to go in my scrap right there. I need to get a little bit bigger of a box. We're going to cut that down in a minute. But first, what I want to do is I want to create a pocket down here. And I don't think I have, another pocket just kind of kicking around. Because sometimes I've got, so if I went about, let's grab some basic black and let's make a pocket. So I'm going to go about 4.5 inches tall. And that's 8.5, which is not going to give me enough. So I'm going to go 4.5 inches tall lengthwise, which would bring me down to 4. No, let's go a little bit smaller. Let's go 3 3/4 in our basic black. And I'm going to cut that on my guillotine. Did you girls know that cutting with your Stampin' Trimmer on black cardstock is very hard on the blade? Very hard. Okay, so we're going to go about 3 3/4. No, let's go 4. Let's go 4 inches tall. And there's a piece of scrap. And my book is 8 inches, let's say. 8 inches. So I want 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to go about 8 7/8. So 8 7/8 by 4 inches, and that's going to create a pocket. It is so fun to create albums. I have a folio album that I also taught a couple of years ago. Okay, where did I put my Stampin' Trimmer? If you want to see it, I can show you. So here's how you create a pocket. So again, this is 4 inches by 8 7/8 inches. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So if you were at my class, I'm sure you remember doing that. For some reason, my pocket went missing. So we've got 1/2 inch on 3 sides. And where X marks the spot, we're going to chop that off. Okay? Where are my snips? Because we don't want any bulk in our pocket. So let's cut that off, and let's cut that off. And then I am just going to fold that over. I'm going to check to see that I don't have any overhang. I've got a little bit of overhang there, which I don't want. So let's just cut that off. Now I'm nice and clean. And I am on that side as well. Let's give that a nice burnish. Let me show you a trick with tear and tape. Now see how I've got this little not very nice corner? Do you see that? I'm just going to snip that off. So I'm just going to clean that off like so. Now these two top tabs, I want just a smidge trimmed off like so. Judy, I'm so glad you got your card. With the postal strike, I was quite bummed, and I was like, when are the girls going to get their cards? We're going to put, let's move you out of the way. We're going to put some tear and tape down. So I just like to hold my tear and tape in my hand like so. And I go down that edge, give that a nice little finger burnish. And then I like to take my ruler and I just press down and tear up. And then I'm going to go here. And then down on this side here. Wendy, if you, like I've already taught this class, but if you are interested, I can send you the link for the video as well as the PDF with all your cutting instructions. So now before anything goes down, so here's my cover, here's the chipboard. I also want to do a dry fit. I do a dry fit before I put anything down always, okay? And I see that that's going to fit in there really nice. So here's a little trick that I like to do with my tear and tape. And whenever I use tear and tape, I mostly do this trick. I like to kind of fold it down so I've got like a leg sticking out. So now this portion of my tape is exposed. This is not. So that's where I'm going to do the dry fit, mostly pressing on this side. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch down here at the bottom, and I like this fit right here. So then I press right down here where I've exposed that. And then I just remove the rest of it and press down like so. So there's the bottom part of our pocket. It's done. Okay, so the bottom part of our pocket is done. And Wendy, I will do that when I'm done here. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate. And so on the sign up sheet, you'll see, I'm going by memory here, so don't don't quote me on this. You're going to see where you have different options. The class option is over, but you can purchase the YouTube and the video. And I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I think it's 25. I can't remember now. And then you also have the option for the PDF, the YouTube, and because you're local, well, even if you weren't local, but then you'd have to pay for shipping, I can also cut the entire kit, which reminds me, I've got a kit to cut. I've got someone that wanted another kit. Okay, so now I've got the bottom portion of my pocket down. I'm going to remove the strip of tear and tape on either side of my pocket. So I've removed that. I fold these in, and then all I do is I just lay that straight down, okay? And so now, I'm just looking, you can see that I've created a pocket, okay? So there is a pocket there. I forgot to put my design paper down first. Come on, lift for me. Even just a little bit. Oh, happy day. Okay, so we cut this, and I don't need to go right to the bottom, but I want to cover part of it. I want part of my design paper tucked inside my pocket. So I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do my dry fit here. And so the top of my pocket is going to come to about here. So I want it a little bit longer. So we're going to cut this right about here. Okay. So lots of back and forth. Lots of back and forth. So there's my pencil mark. Let's grab our cutter. I don't know how far we will get, but you're getting the idea. And I'm going to do this entire book this way. So this measures 7 7/8 because my book is 8 by 8, and I am about 5 7/8 inch deep. Okay. So that's going to go on my page. This I'm going to tuck away for another page. So here we go. Let's get this covered. Here's my dry fit. And I do like it. Let's get some adhesive down. You need lots of room when you're doing albums. Okay, let's stay away from the actual edge. But I definitely want to pull that glue towards the edge. Come on. I think my Tombow is empty. That one is. Oh, Judy, I wish you were too. If you're ever out this way, my girls are the best. Okay, come on back, little album. And then down this goes. I'm just eyeballing this edge here as well as the top. Okay, and then let's get all of that lovely adhesive. There's a little bit right there. Look at this trick. Thank you, Judy. You are the best. You definitely don't want any sticky here because this is your pocket and you don't want things getting stuck in your pocket. I love covering these albums once they're made. It's so fun and it's such a beautiful gift. So I have 2 that are done and I've got 2 black ones that need to be covered. And I have 10 grandchildren that I am creating these books for. And so my goal is for Christmas 2025, they will all have a book. Okay, so now that is down. Let's go like this. Is this my, yep, it's a little bit too far. But if you ever decide to catch a bird, come and hang with us. I'm going to put, I don't know if, yeah, you can see. I'm going to put just a little, come on, maybe this is my empty one. I think it is. Yep, it is. I am going to try to put a thin line on either side of that. I'm going to let that sit for just a second before I bring that down. And then we're going to decorate this. And then we're going to decorate the front pocket. Okay? So let's see how we do here. Let's bring this down. And I got a little bit of this sticking out here. I am so okay with that. Do you see how that's, I could have gone a smidge thinner. Now, for some people, that would drive them absolutely bonkers. I'm going to show you something that you can do to hide that. Now, if that was a dark piece of design paper back there, it wouldn't show. Do I have, let's see. Here is my black Stampin' Blend. I don't want to go past that line. I was going to grab my Stampin' Write markers, but I've got too many things that I would need to climb over. So I put my ruler here so I had a flush line. Do you see how that is gone now? And then on this side, there's just a tiny bit right here. There, done. Normally I would use a Sharpie. Okay, so there's our pocket. Okay, here's our flap. We have yet to do that. I want to put a magnet down on here. Okay, so girls, for those that came to class, I don't think I gave you magnets, but I've got magnets for you. Okay, I've got magnets for you. So here we go. Here are our magnets. So I want one, and these are small. Whoops, I ordered the wrong size. I meant to go a smidge bigger, and I guess I hit send before I meant to. So we're just going to pull those apart. Don't put them too close to each other. They're very attracted to each other. Keep them separate like that. So I don't know if you can see. I've got a magnet here and I've got a magnet here. Right there. And then let's do that again. I've got a magnet here and I've got a magnet there, and they're not too close to each other. We're going to grab our tear and tape. I am going to open this flap and we're going to put a couple of magnets down there, right here. You don't want your magnets too close to the edge, because then when you do put your design paper down, it's got nothing to hang on to, okay? And you need to take your pick tool. You want to make sure you're nicely burnished. If ever you're using tear and tape and you find that you're having a really hard time lifting it up, most of the time it's because you haven't burnished it really, really well. So there, I've got one magnet there, and I don't want it on top. I want it right beside, only because I bought the wrong size. So we are double magneting, okay? And so then I'm going to take another piece of tear and tape and we're putting it over top, okay? So then what I do is I take my other magnet and I put it down. I take my other magnet and I put it down on top. So I've got my two little magnets on top of the two that are already down, okay? So there are a couple of things that you can do. You can put a little dot of Tombow on top of those and then close this and press down here. The magnets are not going to stick with the Tombow, but it shows you where they're going to land, okay? So now let's grab, this is my little magnet trick. I love doing this because I feel like I'm so smart and I don't know how or why I figured this out, but I did. We're going to give that a good burnish. We're going to remove that backing, and then this is going to come down again. Okay, give it a press. Gently lift. Please be there. And there's our magnets. Okay, so I don't know if you can see them. These ones are already covered, and these ones are sitting here. Make sense? So now what I want to do, because I don't want those going anywhere, is I am going to find another little strip of tear and tape, put that down on top. Okay, and now we are ready to go. Let's cover our pocket. Or should we do our flaps first? Let's do our flaps first. What am I doing? I think I do like the blue up against it. I definitely like the blue up against this. I think that looks really sharp. That's going to probably be too much. Okay. I am just going to look in my bag and see if I have any scraps. I do have scraps, but I'm hoping for that blue. Although, Judy, there's that other side that you said would look really sharp. That looks very cool, don't you think? I like that. Okay, so that can be for that little portion there. And I think what I want to do to break that up, I have buckets of ephemera that I created. And can you try turning the blur so the lines are going in the same direction? Oh, this. Yeah, I can. If I can find what's the other side? Yeah, you know what, Debbie? Let's find a piece that is the right size. So these are just, let me pull this out so you can see what I'm looking at. These are just pages, and I sell them at my class for $1 a piece, where you would, they're in envelopes. You would just cut these out to pop into the pockets. So I've got that. I've got these where you would just cut out a whole bunch of different sayings. So you would just purchase that whole page. There's that guy. There's that guy for a baby book. So Kathy, if you're still here, I arrived, my name is, I weigh. And then these where you've got places for journaling, all kinds of places for journaling, or just a whole sheet of journaling. And I want to grab one of those, okay? So I sat on my computer for hours and just created these. Let's find one, because that was a really good point that Debbie had. Let's see if we can find one where the wood grain is going the same way. And I probably have to cut a fresh sheet, which is totally fine. Okay, so that is that side. Oh yes, the side that I don't have much of. There it is, this guy. Look at that. Okay, Debbie, are you liking that better? Okay, so that was all in my scrap box. Okay, so when you do come for BYOP, make sure you bring a scrap box. And let's shut that before I land in it. Okay. We're going to cut this down. And again, I'm cheating. I'm not going to measure anything, because that takes brain power. So there is one cut line right there. I'm going to pull this down a little bit so I can see where I'm going here. And there is a cut line right here. Okay, let's get a smaller cutter. And I don't have to be right under to do this, because I think it becomes really loud in your ears. That's going in scraps. And my cut line on this side is right there. So that was 2 inches tall by 1 3/8. And that's going to fit right in there. So there's my dry fit for that. And I already know it works. And that would work. That would work as well. But I think I prefer, girls, what do you think? I think I prefer this side, because somehow I feel like it's pulling in the browns. Okay, so let's just put a little bit of glue and my number 6, because when you're doing the tutorial, everything is numbered for you. When I pencil in my numbers, I make sure that I'm not too close to the top. So then I just cover it up. And there you go. So there's that. Now I want to cover this, and I've got an M here for magnet, but it is close to the bottom. So I want to erase that. And I think what I want to do here, I think I'm going to put a journaling page here. Okay, so that's where I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to show you what I do with this. This is so fun. I'm going to put that down this way so my pencil lines are at the back, and we're going to mark that. like so. Is that going to fit? Just let's give that a snip. That goes in my scrap. Now, if you want to, you can actually brush all the edges if you don't want like just a stark, okay? And I didn't start by doing it, so now I don't want to start doing it, okay? Now watch what I do with this. I love doing this. This is so fun. Do you remember this old retired thing? I forget what it's called. Spinal border, okay? Some things I just don't get rid of, and there's a reason. I'm going to put that down here. So this is going to give us an illusion of torn pages out of a binder. Okay, and now that's going to go down right here like so. And so there's a journaling page. So the glare, so that's going to go down like there, you can see it. That'll go down like that, okay? So then you would just, that would be a page to journal, okay? Let's put a little bit of adhesive behind that. And I'm just going to put a dot in every little section here, okay? And a little bit more right there. We've already done our dry fit. I do a dry fit on absolutely everything that I do. Don't ask why. You don't want to know. It's not pretty. Down that goes. And burnish. You know how I said I wanted to come on at 6:30? Well, that didn't happen. We ended up with sump pump issues. So I was kind of helping Dean. There is a die like that. I can't remember which one off the top of my head. This, yeah. I can't remember either, Judy. And when you're doing albums, if you have a punch, it's so wonderful because it's way easier than die cutting everything. Okay, so here we've got that. Let's cover our pocket. Let's cover our pocket. And I want something different. So I don't want this and I don't want that. Hi, Dean. And this would be going down like that if I use that. What do you think? Is that too busy? And I'm going to keep looking. So I would cut that to size to cover our pocket. Let's see what else we have. We want to stay in the brown tones. We could even pull that in again. I don't mind the pop. Yeah, I do too, Kathy. I don't mind the pop of the teal all of a sudden coming in. Somehow it looks way nicer than if I did that, right? I missed a bunch of comments here. Can you try turning them? Okay, yeah. I was just thinking, oh, you know what, Wendy? I think it is, girls. I think it is Notes of Nature. I think it is. But I like the pop of color. And so my reasoning on this was if I do it this way, I'm cutting here and here, and this tone pulls it all together rather than doing it this way, although this way pulls that in, right? But that would get cut off right about here, okay? So do we want it this way? I think I'm liking it the other way. My chamois is in the way. Can I get rid of that chamois banner? I don't know if I can. No, I can't. That's okay. I will just move that over. Hi, Dean. Did you end up going across? Oh, you know what? He didn't. We came home he came home and we started cleaning. So this would get cut about here. Okay. So there's that way. Or if I pull it this way, then I've got this pop of color right away, and I've got this tone, and I think I like it better that way. I do like it better that way. Now this is, okay, that's blue on that side. I'm going to go this way, and I don't know if I'm going to see it. Let's grab a white chalk. So I'm just eyeballing. So if I did a dried up white chalk mark, it's kind of working. It kind of worked. Let's give that a slice. Let's put our scraps away right away. I try not to have any scraps on my desk, because then I'm forever digging rather than looking in my box, right? And I've got to get a proper box because it's not tall enough. So here's my mark right here. So I'm going to go, I'd rather go a little bit too big and have to take a smidge off in my scraps. Ooh, I think I know what I'm doing with that one already. And my other mark is right down here. And I am just a touch too big, which is great. I would rather be too big than too small. That was using that white kind of chalk gave me a really thick line. Okay, so we're doing our dry fit first. I for sure want that teal color up at the top. And let me take a look. No, I need to take just a smidge off. My pocket is just a tiny bit crooked, but that's okay. I know when I create with my grandkids, sometimes when they're looking for their card or whatever it is to be perfect. See, I just cut like, that's like a 64th of an inch. It's like a hair, an eyelash, trim an eyelash off. Yeah, sometimes they look at their work and they're like, Grandma, it's a little bit crooked. And I'm like, guys, you know what? You need to remember it's handmade. So there's my dry fit, and I like it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that, and don't ever put your adhesive down on your black cardstock. The reason being is your design paper, albeit it's just a smidge smaller, it is still smaller. And I always like to put my adhesive down on my smaller piece. Okay, we're going to remove this backing. We are going to put our adhesive, and you can't really see what I'm doing, but that's okay. I definitely need a larger silicone mat when I do albums. And I keep grabbing the empty one. Throw it away, Denise. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's been removed. We want the teal at the top. Do you see how this is coming to life? And now we're going to burnish that in. We've got our magnets here. They're right there. Okay. There's a little bit of glue that oozed out. Thank you, Judy. I will think of you every time I pull out my sponge to clean up my mess. You for sure do not want any glue oozing, especially not in a pocket. So we're just spreading that glue around. Now, sometimes people want to use a more inexpensive design paper because it's cheaper, and it's cheaper for a reason. So if you is the folio smaller or bigger? Hang on one second. If you go to a big box store that starts with an M and you purchase their design paper to cover your book just so that it's not as expensive, you are going to ruin your book, okay? Because the design paper is such poor quality. It's like paper thin. Everything shows through. It just doesn't look nice. I'm a little bit sticky right there, and I like to take care of that right away. As long as it's dry, okay? So the folio, so there's our magnet. Do you hear that? There's our magnet. This is 8 by 8, and this is going to hold more pictures than the folio. And the folio, I have not finished the video for it. So this is old design paper from Stampin' Up! And this is how the folio opens. It opens like this. So listen, there's the magnets, okay? And then it opens like this again, okay? So on this side, you've got pockets and pull-outs, okay? So 3 of them. This pulls out as well. And then here, I've got a pull-out mat that opens up, and you could place photos here. You could place photos wherever you want. Okay, so that goes into this large pocket like so. And then these are 2 smaller pockets that pulls right out on both sides. So this is a folio class that I taught, oh my goodness, 4 years ago, I think. This is a pocket, just a thin, tall pocket with another pull-out mat that folds open as well. And then it slips back in there. This is a pocket here. So see how this is sponged? That's what a sponged edge looks like. And I love it. I love the sponged edge look, and I forgot to do it. Like all of these are sponged, okay? And then on this side, you have a large pocket, and then from our memories and more, okay? So these are like that you would slip your picture in. So that's the folio that I taught several years ago. Okay, several years ago. Okay, so now back to this. Let's get this decorated and then we will call it a night. Okay. Yeah, it does have horrid paper, doesn't it, Wendy? That's a good word. When I first, oh my goodness. Yep. Well, and you know what? That's where grandkids or neighborhood kids, that's where that comes in really handy. Let's get this decorated. And we've got all kinds of scraps. We've got all kinds of scraps. I know I don't want a journal on that side, so we can just put that away. Let's see what we've got here. We don't need black, so let's put that away. This could always go down on that side right there. I would just have to cut it a little bit thinner. Okay. And what did we put? Okay, we've got that there. We could do this. So we're going to just tuck that under here to hide it so that you can have a better view of what that would look like. What do you think if we did something like that on this side? And that's, and keep in mind that probably, let me see here. Can I do this real quick? Let's see here. What do we have? A lot of times that's a little bit too small. But anyway, let's just stick with that for now. We could do that as well, but I think I like this better because I like the tone of the brown and the tone of the brown here. Oh, Judy, that is such a good idea. That is, because I have some of that. I have some of that for sure. Okay, so we can do that, or here's another thing we can do. If we don't want to use the brown at the top, we could go like this, or does that start to become too busy? I think in my mind, that's too busy. I think I'm liking this. I think I'm liking that, or even if I found this. So I like that, or this. What do you think, girls? Or is that too much? Like this and this. Although, okay, this was what I was starting to show you. What do we have here? This is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Those are all too small. I will show you where I'm going. Basic white. Where are you? I said 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, correct? So if I went 4 1/4, so if I went 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. I just want to show you something. I like, oh, you like the brown better? Okay. Not too busy at all. Okay. Okay, so we've got the brown. we've got the brown, and then I cut this. Let's see if I cut it the right size. It's pretty small. I could have gone 3 by 4. Let's go 3 by 4 because I want to show you something. And so when you do come to BYOP and all of that, you are welcome to use all of my punches and all of that. So if this was down here, like so, we're going to pretend that I am all stuck down, and then we're going to go for it. And then this would go here, and it could even be smaller. But what I'm getting at is then you take this, and my new memento trick, who has done that? And I could cut that even smaller. And I'm not worried about this being straight at all because it's going to get covered anyway. And so then here is what you have. That's cut to size. That's going to be cut to size. We're going to adhere that down. And then this would go right down on here. So if you gifted this book to someone without the pictures, you would have these photo mats throughout. And you can, for that, you can use a cheaper white. And what I like to do actually, for my photo mats, this is what I use. So it is, sorry for the noise, it is this, and I purchased that at Staples, and it's just a white cardstock, but you know what? It's not bad. Like, it's pretty decent quality. And so that's what I would use for all my photo mats for my place photo here. This way I'm not using up all of my, quality basic white Stampin' Up. Okay, so let's get this cut because I do like the brown. And pencil, there you are. And I guess if I wasn't so lazy, I would measure. But sometimes my brain is just like, oh, you know what? Can we just cheat? So I do. So this measures 3 1/8, which totally makes sense. And this is going to measure, we're going to have just a smidge of a black border, and that's going to go here. This goes into scrap. I have not ever done a live in the evening, and I love it. You know what, Kathy? I got that stamp so long ago. I don't even remember. But you know where and this one here is just a smidge too wide. I'm going to trim that down by about a 1/16 of an inch. So you know where I got my stamp that I stamped the back of all of my cards with my chamois and all of that? And maybe a lot of you haven't seen it because when you do win a prize, when you come to my lives during the day, I don't mark them. I like to send them so that you would just re-gift it and there's no mention of me. That's really tiny, but you know what? You never know. I'm going to tuck it away. Okay. So, Kathy, I will send you a link to where I got my other one, and you can have You can have one made. And you know what? I just might be ordering another one anyway, so we could share in the postage, because I don't know if you noticed, my E has disappeared because this probably wasn't the greatest. So they were called, and they're in Canada, which I like, and they're out of BC, and they are called, I think they're called Foxy Friend. But you know what? Do not order one, because I think I'd like to order a new one and just have them create it, and they're amazing. And then we can share shipping. Okay, so if there's anyone else from Winnipeg that would like to share shipping, um, then, and see, Debbie's interested too. So there you go. So we're going down on the brown. Do not forget to remove your backing. Do not forget to remove your backing. So you know what, girls, when I'm done my live, I will go online and take care of that. And before I hit send, I'll just make sure that there's no one else that wants one. I'll ask all the girls that came to class if they're interested in one. And then I'll take care of that. And then Wendy, I think you had asked if I would send you the sign-up sheet for this album, and then you can decide how you want to do it. I can't remember if there was anything else. So here I've got my magnets right here. So I just want to make sure that I've got that nicely covered. Now, this bone folder, this is 100% silicone. 100%, did I say that right? I think I'm tired. 100% silicone. Do not order it online. I have a dear friend that ordered one through Amazon, and it's terrible. This is actually really soft. It does not have any hard edges on it at all. You would get these at a good quality Stampin' store. So I bought mine at Scrapbook Cottage. I got this one at Scrapbook Cottage and this one at Scrapbook Cottage, and they're both soft and they're 100% silicone. What is the album made of? Like the front and back spine. Initially, Debbie, it is chipboard. Okay. Now, if you want to avoid spending money on chipboard, some of our design paper, some of our specialty design paper has chipboard behind it. So a lot of it is that. Losing my voice. And you can also order it on Amazon. And I think I want just like a hair off of this. And also some cereal boxes. If memory serves me right, only the large family size of mini wheats. It's like it's not like soft cereal box cardboard. It is a little bit thicker, but I like the idea of the let me see if I can find some right here. So you know how some of our design paper, right, comes with this chipboard, some of the specialty. Okay, so that is what you would use. Is that what you're asking? Is that what is in the paper? Yep. You know what? You could use what is in the paper pumpkin. It's the same idea. So this chipboard is actually the backing of a specialty design paper from Stampin' Up. Okay. Okay, so now here's my dry fit, and I like that. So I will send everybody a message. And Judy, I think I've got, Judy, did you ask me for something? I can't remember now. Okay, and so now that is down, and let's just take the time and give that a burnish. Okay, so I have to order more of this design paper so I can finish my cover. So, I mean, we've been here for an hour and 15 minutes, and I so appreciate that you hung in with me for that, and I hope you enjoyed it. So we've got our book covered and our spine covered, okay? And we've got our cover of the inside done, okay? And so here's another thing that I want to show you. You know how we've got, and these are so easy. Oh, Judy, I had a blast with you too. These are so easy to miss in the catalog. They are called Memories and More. So in the annual catalog, if you go, and if you don't have your catalog in front of you, write this down on a piece of scrap in front of you. If you go to page, where are you? If you go to page, I'm getting there. It's just, they're really easy to miss. And what I'm looking for is the Memories and More. The Memories and More packets. Where are you? Is that? Nope. They used to be easier to find. Boy, tell me that they're not discontinued. I certainly hope not. I love Memories and More. I am so not used to the new catalog setup here. Maybe they're at the front of the book. Not there. Debbie, you're so sweet. And Kathy, you are welcome. I've been wanting to do this. There, I need to order that. Page 51. Page 51. See, these would be fabulous in an album too. Lily Pond, Memories and More. Where are you? Are you at the front of the book? I keep looking up in case somebody knows exactly where they are. Aha. I found, but okay, so here we go. So on page 19, we've got some of these ephemera packs, and then we've got right here, page 26 and 27. These are, so mark your calendars, mark on a piece of paper. We've got page 19, which is some of these ephemeras, but then we also have page 26 and 27, and these are Memories and More card packs. Okay, so that's what fits into those photo pages that I showed you when I was showing you the photo folio. Now this is an old set that has since retired like ages ago, but these are the Memories and More. So oftentimes they will fit on things like this. Like, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So don't forget about the Memories and More. And then you've got places to journal already, okay? And then in your album, because you're going to have tons of pockets with the Memories and More, you also have, right? So let's say you liked just one side and not the other. Well, then that's where you would take a photo, and it would be boom, place photo here. Okay. And then that is going to pop into your pocket. Okay. So I hope that made a whole lot of sense. And then you also end up with some little stickers and stuff, and you can decorate your books with it. Now, this book is for one of my grandsons, so we're going to try to avoid the whole flower thing. Okay, so that is partial cover and page 1 of your photo album. So I hope that I have inspired you and I have excited you about your books that you've created or the books that you're going to create or want to create. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, whether you're here on my live or whether you're watching this later on, please do not hesitate to reach out. I would be happy to do so. I do sell the video um, uh, and the PDF. And if you're interested, I can send you a link to that. And we will do this again because I am hoping to go live almost every Thursday evening. And I'm going to finish up this book. And it's been a lot of fun doing this with you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Again, my name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I would be honored if you did. And if you have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm thrilled that you're here. If you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm thrilled that you're here. I hope I can help you. And if you don't have one, I would love to help you with your Stampin' Up! Needs. So with that, I'm going to say adieu. Have a wonderful evening. Happy New Year, because we are only in January 2nd of the year. It's 8:20 p.m. and I need to sign off. We will talk to you later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bye.